Hey there everyone, hope you're all well. Wanted to do another video for you. It's going to be a video slightly with a difference. Most painting videos are kind of directly overhead, but for this one I kind of want to show you point of view, as as film directors would call it. So you're kind of seeing exactly what I'm seeing on here. So what I am going to show you today, this won't be the world's longest video, but it will be long enough to be able to demonstrate the point. I want to show you how I decide on what areas of a miniature I add highlights to and shadows to for both non-metallic metals and true metallic metals. So this was one of the suggestions, one of the requests when I asked if anybody had any requests of what they'd like to see, and this was suggested. So I'm going to show you one method. This isn't the only method, but this is the way that I do it. And it does seem to work quite well. Now, obviously, my setup, if you're not familiar with it, I have just a normal painting table. This one actually came from IKEA. Slots into a nice little alcove that I have, and I have two LED lamps that are from IKEA. It's almost like my bloody house is sponsored by IKEA. Not really, but you would think that it was. So I've got two IKEA LED lamps, and they're kind of angle points, so they can move about. They can go brighter this way, they shine that way. So it gives me a good kind of solid area for lighting underneath the model. So the model that I'm going to show you is this one. And this is called And Beyond. It's from Broken Toads. It's one of their busts, and I'm going to be painting this dude in non-metallic metal, and you are the very first people to hear about this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I decide where on this model I'm going to add highlights and shadows. As you can see, it's a phenomenal sculpt, really lush, and I think like a gold non-metallic metal with some silver in there as well, I think that would look really cool. So the way I do it, and this is a really easy, really straightforward way. So I have my two LED lamps here. All I do is I separate them apart slightly. So these are my two lights, these are my two light sources, and what I do, I then pick up my model, and then I put my model inside underneath the LED lamps. Now, as you can see already, dependent upon which angle and how far away and how far down, it gives a different kind of like dramatic or subtle effect. And all I do, now I'm not going to be able to show you the exact moment of exposure, shall I say, because I'm actually using my phone here to record this video. But all I do is I place him, the model, underneath the lamps, and then when I get to a point where I think, okay, that actually looks quite cool, I take my phone and I take a picture. So let's just say that is kind of the lighting that I'm happy with. Now, obviously, it's quite exaggerated. A, because it's really close to the lights, but B, because of the aperture on the iPhone, it allows in quite a lot of light. So all I do is I take my iPhone or any other phone that you've got, and then you take a photo. Literally take a photo. So you go to him and you go, ching, and that's your photo taken. And then that is your reference for light and shadow for where to paint it. So you've got a real life, a true representation of what light would look like against that model. Now you could do the same thing. What I can actually do is show you with some models that I've painted or kind of like half painted already. So this is the backpack for the Golden Griffin, and if I kind of push it into the light source like that, you can actually see that the shadows and highlights caused by, so it's not easy to see, the shadows and highlights caused by the LED lights are exactly the same as those highlights and shadows that I've painted with my paintbrush. Let's get another one. This is Captain Artemis. Now this one's slightly different because it's going to be lit in kind of like a number of different ways. But again, as you can see here, let's just see if I can... Okay, so that's the model kind of halfway between the lamps. That's the lamp shining on him. And again, because of the exposure of an iPhone, it's quite exaggerated, but again you can see, so it's got high highlights towards the corners here, it's got a nice shadow straight down the middle and a nice shadow underneath the bottom of his wrist. And again, all I would do is I'd take my phone, I'd keep my hand here, keep the model here, I'd take my phone, I'd go up to the model and go ching, take a photo of it, and then use that as a reference for where to put the shadows and the highlights. And that's it. Easy. That is the easiest, most straightforward way that I can think of that I use for knowing where to put highlights and shadows on both non-metallic and true metallic metals. So please do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have a go yourself, see what you reckon. These lamps, again, they don't have to be from IKEA, but these ones are only, I think they're only £7 each. Really, really cheap. Really, really cheap. Or just get 2 desk lamps from Wilkinson or, I don't know, Poundland or it doesn't have to be expensive. It's just 2 lights, okay? And you don't have to use the lights that you're using for painting. You can literally just use two lamps. But again, remembering, put the model in between the lamps, get your phone, take a photo, ching ching, and then use that photo as a reference. So there you go. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's been slightly enlightening. There's my pan of the day. And I will speak to you all soon. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye now.